Colton, we're starting with you.
All right,
Since we
tell us, Colton.
Yeah.
These are shots from Killers of the Flower of the Moon by Mr. Martin Scorsese. That movie, I still haven't finished the movie. I got about...
It is long.
It is long. It's a long movie.
It was good.
It's solidly made, really good, to the part that I've watched. It just felt like a lot of it have been cut, unfortunately.
I think the last 3 times I've tried to watch a Scorsese film, I think I've stopped every single one, like partway through. Either I'm like, I want to go to bed now, or it's it's been 2 hours, I'm done.
I felt that's literally the hour that I stopped. I mean, unfortunately, the hour that I stopped was the 2 hour mark where who's the actor that was in Breaking Bad and also the he plays villains a lot. Yes, Jesse Plemons. That was the part where the movie should have been like at the halfway mark. That was 2 hours in because his character basically is the USA agent who's going to help try to figure out the crimes of all these murders that are happening to the indigenous people. And it just feels like the 2 hour mark was just like constant murders happening over long periods of time and just like kind of hammering over the point of the character of Leo, or Leo's character, like, is he on their side or not, of his wife or whatever. It just feels a little... It's hard to critique in the sense of like what Marty was thinking, but it seems like it could have been cut down a little bit, or at least like to the point. Anyways, I'm critiquing the movie when I should be talking about how much I love these shots. Anyways, okay. These shots kind of really spoke to me out of the entire movie because, I don't know, something just like blurs you in. This also reminds me very much of the Control aesthetic, where it's just odd geometric shapes. And also, you don't really see this kind of room in the movie, at least that I remember, or like up to the point that I watched. I don't know if it's because I'm blanking on his name right now. Robert De Niro's character is kind of like... He's kind of not necessarily a Godfather character, but he's in control and wants to have control over the oil of all the characters in the movie. And he seems like he could be kind of the embodiment of, like, I don't know, a secret society, or kind of has like more power than he's letting people know. And this room kind of spoke to me in that sense. So you could definitely see like the power structure and stature of like Leo on his knees kind of thing. And almost like a rite of passage that he's having to do because there's like a book in front of him. And it's very ominous and kind of
it's very
lures you in.
Society kind of culty.
Exactly,
That's a cool room in general, yeah.
No, it just totally spoke to me. Very, very reminiscent of like Kubrick kind of aesthetic, but...
It looks like a mystery movie. You know?
100%, yeah.
Like, if you just showed me this like at a quick flash and I hadn't seen the movie, like if I had to guess what movie this, like I would probably guess like Shutter Island or something, because he kind of looks like that same kind of character and it's got that mood to it.
It's too pretty. Yeah. I immediately thought Knives Out.
Yeah, totally.
I was detective-y noir
mansion.
Not noir, but like dark mansion, just kind of elegant, spooky. Yeah.
So definitely probably saved that kind of contrast, like Colton was saying, for like this scene to really feel like isolated and kind of like cut out, or
It's just weird. It's a weird room too.
Yeah,
why is it
a long
room?
Like a ballroom? Why is it so long? Like,
why is it
in real
like
life?
Also rooms that are painted black all are weird.
Yeah.
Like they don't look good. They always have someone. It's like, oh, I painted my black because it's the sex dungeon. Or I thought it would be edgy. It's always weird.
Wait, it gives off those vibes.
I like black walls.
I think
you shouldn't do it.
Maybe not pitch black, but like dark color.
I don't mind like a dark gray or like something like that, or
Let's say dark gray.
But black is fucking. Whenever you do black, you can't see anything. I don't know if you guys have ever. There was a guy's basement.
What basements have you been in, Calvin?
Growing up, there was a guy.
Do tell.
But he would. Anyways, I think it was always during holidays. He would do like either a haunted house. Anyways, there's a couple times I was at his place unrelated to that, but his whole basement was all blacked out walls, and it was awful. Like you turn on the lights, and it was like hard to see shit, and like distances were weird. Maybe that was the drugs. But no, it's don't do black walls. It looks like shit always. And they get anything that happens to them, you can see smudges.
You can do black walls. It's just they accentuate how the room kind of feels and looks.
They make
There's
the
actually
room feel
examples.
smaller.
Yeah, make it smaller, make it wider. It's like
I'm not saying
depending
like
on how much you
one
paint
wall
of it,
can't be
yeah.
black. To
Yeah,
try and,
exactly. Yeah.
push perspective, but like when it's
Yeah.
all black, you just can't fucking see anything.
There's probably some. It's probably like intentional to do like call back to like
Oh,
the
for sure. No,
oil
definitely.
of everything. Like it's all.
It's also just creepy and dark and gross, and that's what it's supposed to be. I'm not ripping on that. It's
No.
just like,
Yeah, that's what they're going for.
No, very cool.
But no,
very
yeah, it
cool.
spoke to me, and I think it looks super cool.
Speaking of black, Calvin,
Okay, I wasn't sure which one you
Calvin
were.
just
Gotcha.
You're in space.
you're the blackness of space.
Take us away, Calvin.
Take us away. Now, what movie is this? I don't recognize this movie.
Oh yeah,
I feel like-
is it from a
is this
franchise?
is this like
No.
an obscure like cult film or something.
Yeah. Is it a French film? Calvin's being a pretentious French film enthusiast. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Star Wars Episode 8.
This was a very
I
cool
like this
sequence.
shot.
This was
It's
cool.
pretty. It's a school book reporting it. This shot's cool. All these shots are fun. I just watched through them again. They're all fun. They're really fast. I didn't realize how fast it cuts, but they do cut. In my head, these were much slower. But just watching the sequence, it cuts very fast. And each shot, you see like you essentially see kind of like 3 frames, which is no damage, big white light through the middle, and then big white light like laser ray is gone, and it's just like the ship floating there, and all the ship's lights are out. And that's essentially what you see for each one of these frames. Here you actually like see the progression, which you could debate if it makes sense or not. But it's a cool shot. They're fun shots. It's rare that I feel like you get franchises. I feel like this is one of the things that makes Star Wars a little special still. Well, still, yeah, sure. Is that they're willing to they do shots like these that are just like this sequence is here because it's pretty. You know what I mean? It's not just like big fireball. You know, it's like let's do something different and weird just because it is cool to have this. You know, just pure white, pure black. Just slice a big line through everything and do these violent, no sound. So
everyone thought the speakers blew out when this came out. Remember that?
I don't remember.
I remember that.
I remember
it
being
being
like,
silent.
They
It
were
was
putting
just-
signs up because people thought that like they were asking for refunds because the speakers blew out on the scene, but they
I think
didn't.
this
That was just the
people
audio.
scamming.
Yeah, you got to be.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, probably.
It's obvious that it's a
But-
And it comes
I
back
would
2
recommend
seconds later.
everyone.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't know, that makes me mad.
I could see it, but
If you're stupid, I totally understand.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a
You're
moron.
just not aware if you're not picking up on it. Yeah.
If you've never seen a film before, I get it. And for some reason,
Or
you're
yeah,
an
that's only Star Wars
audiophile.
people.
Yeah, people that have never seen a film before that are
Yeah.
an audiophile that like Star Wars. So, you know, and are stupid. So, anyways. This is they're fun
What is
shots. I hope I get to do shots like these. You know,
I wonder
it's
how
like
many
it's
notes-
Super justified. Oh, dude, I
I'm
don't.
curious
How many
Seriously.
notes those
about
like
that.
light rays, those god rays, and all that got? Just like
Well, it's
Even
probably
then,
not
like,
if
From
you.
a concept standpoint, like how many
Yeah.
different like,
iterations. Yeah.
Iterations.
I'm
versions
zooming
did
in.
this look like? Yeah.
There's a lot. There's more shots than you think. It's not like 3 shots. It's like a good 25 shots, and they're all really, really fast. What's interesting, what I think there was probably a fuckload of stuff on, is the timings of everything, because there is like a progression through all the shots, either from, or, you know, it's light speeds, which would be instant, but they show a progression. So that's kind of fun.
Or this could have been just in animatics or like or layout until the last bitter end, just
No,
to get the
this would've
timing
been
right,
comp.
and they just sent it to comp, be like, do this.
Dude, this would have timing would have all be done in comp with like retimes and like roto shapes. So like rough it out and then go back to effects. I bet so much money this was some poor fucking comper just trying to time all this shit out. It always is, especially a shot like this.
Be cool for the real though.
Yeah, they're
maybe
good
Yeah, they're
shots.
very. Oh, yeah, there is more shots than I remember. I just pulled it up now.
There's a lot, dude. Yeah, I was watching it. I was like, I forgot. There's a lot. There's like 4 wides of these like big slow wides.
Yeah.
There's another one that's really pretty. That's like from the front or like kind of front top. It's really
Yeah,
pretty.
yeah.
But yeah, no, they pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's very cool. Yeah.
very, very pretty. Yeah, this is like one too where it's effect where like I don't know what else you would do with that. Like that just looks Cool. There's not much more you could do too.
The lensing stuff maybe, but like that takes away from it.
They have some flares on some of the other
Yeah,
shots.
yeah. I would like
Nice.
to see a better core. I would have liked to see more of a core, or more like
Just see
more
some people
either
fly,
shape of
some
the ship.
some stormtroopers just flying out there like in
Yeah,
space.
exactly. No, I would like to see, because it seems like just like a general thing. It'd be cool if there was like a bit more shape to everything, but that could be just not read and be distracting. So what do I know?
They do just go in like frame by frame. It happens over like 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. It's through the very first frame where it impacts. Like all of the lights on the ship shut off like instantly. So that kind of helps with like the impact
Yeah,
thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
It's definitely art directed to fuck, but I think it's super. I hope I get to do some sort of shot, just monotone, 2-color, using selling power with light. I think that's fun.
I never noticed either too. There's like a light on the ship, like screen right, and if you just step through, as soon as it impacts, that light just turns off. Even on the bottom ships below it, turns off and just switches over, which is cool. Well,
There's some
probably not
shots that are
correct,
like the
but
back.
it looks cool.
When the ship gets cut in half, you see the engines like die and then flicker for the next like 5 or 6 frames that's in the shot, which is cool.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
very pretty.
Oh, cool.
Oh wow, yeah, it's totally just becomes a silhouette behind the or in front of
Yeah,
the
it's
lens flare.
dope. It's
Boom.
super cool. These shots were such a nightmare because then all of a sudden all the people that write for like the comic books and stuff had to then justify why we're not just sending a million freighters. Why we're not trying to just blow up a lot of ships with freighters.
Yeah,
Who cares? Who cares? It's
Well,
cool.
also hyperspace
a lot of
is not
Star Wars nerds.
hyperspace is not acceleration, I'm pretty sure, so this doesn't make sense at all, but
Yeah, those are
I
the
think
same
they got
people that
around
got
with it
mad
saying
that
it's a special shield.
they used nails to build something in one of the Star Wars shows.
Oh,
So, because right.
Use nails.
I
No.
forget why, but it was like, oh, yeah, they were very upset. All right.
I don't know. I think a scene of Han Soloing like nailing something to the dashboard of the Millennium Falcon would be pretty funny.
Yeah. All right, Kari. Moving on to you.
speaking of monotone colors,
I can see 3 colors.
tell me them. Tell me them. List them. List them.
Green, red,
Green.
and then if you want to debate black and
yeah.
white being
Yeah,
one
yeah.
color.
Anyways,
Sorry,
why do you
you
bring
went-
this
said
shot?
monotone,
it's
so I
not even
immediately
monotone.
shot you in
You
the
show
face.
this
Yeah.
tomorrow, they say it's too monochromatic. All right, so this is a shot from Puss and Boots. Last Wish, new one.
Great movie. Great movie.
Good movie. Good movie.
I haven't seen it. I wanted to.
It is very good. So the wolf is like that's like the Grim Reaper character,
Right.
and story is he's Puss in Boots getting a little bit too confident, thinking that he's never gonna die. So this character shows
Too
up
big for his boots.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah, just like the classic. No, but the reason I like this show is because there's a few key things that stood out to me, where the symbol of like having Puss in his shadow directly like that kind of just sells that power to me.
Right.
And then even then, they still gave him a little pool of light to show like, his face and reaction to it all. It's like
Yep.
they kind of cleared that part out. I don't know, just one of those, especially when you see it in motion, it's kind of like a big
Yeah.
moment, you know what I mean?
I was gonna. Is this like the sequence? Was it all like this, or is this kind of like a few like impact
This was a whole
frames where
sequence. I can even,
wow.
Gotcha.
yeah, so it was all this, like, this whole sequence was kind of like a big energy, because it goes from, I'll even paste another one in here. There you go. This is like another shot of it. Because it cuts from like a regular, they're just in a bar. Or I think it's when they're in a bar.
Oh, and then
But
you're right. And then it cuts
changes
into
It
this.
changes to the style when the confrontation happens.
Right.
So it's kind of like a shocking moment. Kind of a surprise scene. But yeah,
Yeah.
just really cool.
Very cool.
Cool posing. Cool, I've been trying to learn more about like arcs and lines. You kind of see the flow of the shot, the directionality of it all. Till it's all moving from left to right. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. What I've got to say.
Yeah. I like it when shows do stuff like that, like where it's very like artsy kind of like where like they'll switch like a very like heavy like style change just for like a few frames to.
They kind of acknowledge that it's art and it's okay
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
do something that's just kind of pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like this doesn't like takes away from anything, so I guess that's reductive, but
It just
Yeah,
adds
that's
to
better,
it.
yeah.
It's helps sell the
but like
fear.
yeah, they take a big swing to be like this looks pretty, and it adds to it. So even though it's not like real or whatever, yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like a carbon copy of another movie, but
They copied Star Wars.
yeah, exactly.
What the fuck, man?
It looks awesome.
All right. Move on. to
Speaking
me.
of generic shows,
I
Kate?
finally watched Arcane. Are you guys happy? I'm all
Oh, you did?
caught up.
Oh,
Playing
what'd you
so
think?
much League.
Yeah, you know me. I'm
Just been
always
spamming
Don't play
solo
League.
queue,
clicking down
What?
those
The show's
lanes.
great.
clicking heads.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I finally
Goes
watched
to the
Arcane.
Jungle Brush.
Very pretty show. I think my
Very
favorite
pretty
thing
show.
Very pretty.
that this show does, like you can really see it on this. This is why I picked this frame because you could really like tell is like a lot of it's like 3D and stuff, and it's got the cool kind of 2D painted look on their characters and everything. But a lot of the frames like this, they'll have like still cameras where it's just a straight up painting
It's just a painting. Yeah.
with like the
Yeah.
characters on top, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
No, it's so good.
very very pretty. It reminded me of the that Love, Death, and Robots one with the girl in the water and like all the gold chains like hanging off her. There's a lot of frames in that too where it's similar kind of painted style, but then if you like pause it, there's like some frames that like it looks like almost like a photoreal thing because it's cut in with like some kind of like painted over photoreal stuff, and there's some where it's just like very like graphic rough paint strokes for the whole frame. You don't even really pick up on it in like motion when you're watching it. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the backgrounds in Arcane are all insane.
Yeah.
Really-
They're all so fucking every time they go to a wide shot in that or
Yeah.
like some sort of establishing, or even anytime they're showing I mean, not all. Okay, there's so many pretty frames in that show, but anytime they show or they're trying to tell the story with the environment, even if it's not a wide. I think there's like a shot where it's like they're in an elevator or something going down through the slums, and you get like peeks
I
of
remember
seeing
that.
what's out there. It's
Yeah.
not really a wide, but it's like any time that they show the environment and they're showing like they're telling the story with the environment, being like, this is where we are, this is what's going on. It's always just freeze frame painting. Oh, there's so many like little shots that are. Ugh, it's such a good looking show. I've been saving rewatching it until the second season's about to come out.
Yeah.
Because I remember I
Sounds
started
awesome.
watching it because I heard it was pretty, and then was like, oh, the story's like kind of interesting, and then it just then it spends the rest of the next like how many episodes? 8?
9.
9? Yeah, it just spends the rest of the season just blowing you away or having fun story beats, So
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
very
mainly watched it just for the art at the beginning too, but it was more entertaining than I expected.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
yeah, I know a lot of people, especially in our circles, that were like, I heard it was pretty and it looked pretty, but I ended up finishing it because it was like the characters.
It's good too, yeah.
And it's also just it is pretty enough just to watch because it's pretty.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's easily
Some
one of the
good
best
action in
looking
there, too.
shows in a long time.
Yeah, all the action sequences are really, really, really cool. Very
Yeah,
fluid. And they have the same thing, like
they
the
have the advantage of being animated,
yeah, and they do a lot of the same thing that I was saying I liked from the shots Kari brought, where they do a lot of like quick cut to whether it be like slow mo or even it's like a quick cut to like a different like even like flatter 2D drawn style for like a few frames kind of thing, or like impact frames are really well sold.
That's a thing. I can't wait to finally watch Succession, so you start watching Animecade. But that's a thing in a lot of like anime and stuff, is they do massive style changes, like mid-fight for 2 shots, or to sell a comedy point. Whenever they're selling a comedy point, all of a sudden the characters get really simplified. It gets very silly looking, very like,
Right.
So, or selling impacts is another thing they do. I mean, Arcane is obviously heavily influenced by a lot of animated stuff,
Right.
but they do constant style changes, and I always think it's a lot of fun.